Right. Alright. How's it going? Logo, go away. Yes. Hey, listen. Topic. It should be number 18. And it was Enchanter. The Enchanter by, was it Zealin? '64? I think it was Zealin. I hope. So I got my new computer. I have my new computer, but not being used at the moment. It is not being used at the moment. Hey, good morning, Morphia. You're back. Schmace. How's it going? What was I doing? Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. There you go. Hey, good morning, Aski. Who was it that made the Enchanter topic? Was it you, Aski, or was it Zealin? I don't remember. Hey, Wood Breakfast. Alms. Ohms. How's it going? Zootin. You're back, man. Glad to see you. Glad to see you back. So today, I think I'll begin with doing a quick block-in with colors. I see him orange for some reason, so I'm gonna go with orange. Orange and white and gold. I think it's gonna go cool together. Hey, Wanamir. Hey, Q. And Zealin. Oh yeah! So I got my new computer, but I'm not running it at the moment. As per usual, when you have a new computer, you need to reinstall everything, and so I've been doing that last night, but I didn't get very far. So hopefully I'll have everything up and running for tomorrow morning, and then I can stream in magic resolution. I'll get automatically much better, because I have a new computer, and everyone knows that more power equals better skills. Anyways, let's get it started. Let's do the warm-up. Let's start the timer. Okay. So as I said, I saw him in orange. Kind of like that, orange. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna try to do it quickly. And orange, and I think towards the fingertips, I'm gonna fade it to white, like egg yellow, egg white, not egg yellow, egg white. This off-white kind of dirty look to it. I think it will contrast well with the gold. What I mean, yeah, it's definitely a headache. You have to pay for new licenses and all these things. Because nowadays everything is installed per device, right? But it's okay. It's okay. It's not too much of an issue. I think I'll finally upgrade to the latest Photoshop. I think it's time, so I can use all the new tools, new tricks in the bag to see how it all those things go. try to upgrade my tool set a bit. I think I've been rocking Photoshop 7 before this version, and this version I've been using since it came out, I think, since forever. I never switched from 7, Photoshop 7. I used it for so long because it did everything I needed. And so far, I mean, this one does what it needs to do. But I'm thinking these later Photoshop versions, they have more brush configurations. So I'm thinking it's time to go a little bit more advanced with your brush setup. Hey, Rick Boy, how's it going, man? But I must say, a new computer is nice. But I hate Windows 10. Absolutely hate it. I have it on my companion too. But oh man, it's definitely something to get used to. I guess I have to get used to it because I'm there now. On my new computer is Windows 10 installed. It is what it is, I guess. It's going to be cool. It's going to be fun. Uh, like I mentioned before, I'm finally going to be able to use the microphone in this headset. And hopefully the sound will be better, more up close, because now the sound is in that one. And it's when I listen back to the audio, it sounds very echoey. Hey, Voodoo Breakfast. Yeah, they're subscription based, but you know, get one freelance contract per year, and you definitely paid it off. Hey, Captain Jetlag, how's it going? Hey, Mila. All praise Queen Mila. Hey, Buka Lemon. Welcome back. Welcome back, sir. Welcome back. Oh, Captain Jetlag. Oh, no. I'm fine, thanks, Eric. I'm all good, man. Excited about the new computer. Super excited about the 2-week challenge elimination competition. I'm so jealous that I'm not allowed to be a part because, you know, biased and all that. I can't take a part in the competition to be one of the judges. Um, but it's cool, man. Hopefully we'll do it again. And I figured out a way um, to honor the winner is that I'm gonna set it up so on Discord, for example, that the round one winners will go to a round one category in the Discord, and the round two and three, so on. So it's visible, like who got where, you know. So you can like wear your badge of honor to a degree, you know. So it's visible, and I was thinking of having, um, you know, like how many times you win. So you know, we'll see, But it's exciting, it's fun. Schmaze, yeah. Well, I mean, I have some general tips, but like I'm no portrait artist for sure. Uh, so you know, it's not like I'm well rounded in the portrait business of making accurate likeness. But the general rule is you have to see which parts determines the look. Like, is it an shift in angle that determines their look, or is there other sections that you can just ignore? And it's, as far as I'm see it, it's about when you're making the marks, you have to analyze what their structure is in order to capture their likeness, almost like a caricature, right? Um, you know, like, do they have a big nose? Yeah. And then what's the angle of the big nose? You know, is it crooked? And then just try to capture that combination of shapes. And a lot of times subtleties are what makes the likeness. Subtle touches of color or shape, and that, like, all suddenly all the pieces fall together because you slightly like you said, 3 millimeter adjustment, and the likeness is enhanced. So it's always a constant process when you're doing portraits to what is those subtleties that makes the person the person. Captain Jet Lag, yeah, it's very modern, up to date beast of a computer. It has more or less all the latest parts. So it's going to be fun. Fun to crank it up to 11 and see what it can perform. Thank you, Uncle Lemur. Today I'm just kind of filling out the colors, and we'll see what it will look like. I'm currently kind of planning the palette of it. I want it to be orange um, with fades of white in it. So I want to go back into the orange and have huge sections, like towards the fingers and towards the hands, in off-white, like an egg white. That's the current plan. Maybe have pinks at the top of the fingers just to help separate the volumes. We'll see what's needed, but currently I'm guessing it'll work. I don't want him to feel too dark because he's one of the good guys. He's an enchanter, right? And I want him to feel light and friendly, but at the same time like a mechanic of sorts, or scholar. So that's kind of like a purity of white, things like that. So we'll see how it looks. Zeolin, yeah. Captain Jetlag. I bought what was it? It's a 1070 Ti GeForce 2, I think. Let me look it up. Um, it was a package deal, and they were offering it like in a local computer store type deal. Um, the whole thing with squares, like measuring it up in squares, is just an easier way to see the big picture, what it is. So I bought a GeForce GTX 1070 Ti Gaming 8, G. Whatever that means. Whatever that means, I got it. Hey, Fritsch Hunet. How's it going, man? Total price of my new computer is quite high, but not like crazy high. It ended up being like 1,600 something without VAT, so 1,800 with VAT. I managed to be able to buy it through my company, so I got it for the cheaper. On the cheaper side. That should actually be gold. Yeah, but the whole thing about there's different ways of measuring a portrait. There's ways to use same idea of squares, but less squared to measure. Educational, I know. Use less squares, but still do correct measuring. And one way that I love to do it is making points like anchor points. I'll just make a new layer on top. So like when you're measuring, you can do like points of stuff like that. And then you kind of approximately know, okay, the head should be there, the other side of the head has like that, and then you don't need to add more squares. Like you can start measuring out from that point, or maybe you add another line like by the hand, and by that distance now you can start thinking about what goes where without stiffening too much. The lady? The Eternal 80. The lady. All right, there we go. How's it going? Good morning. Sorry to miss you. It was unintentional. How's it going, Eternal 80 lady? The lady in Eternal 80 red. Lady in red. Okay, so he needs some gold accessories by the head to help draw the eyes up. Let's add gold rim to those discs and some gold details. All right. It's getting there. It's getting there. Yeah, Eric Moy. Eric Moy also talks about their classic one, and then it's the same thing as like straight arm and measuring with your thumb. Is you're measuring a distance, let's say from the head to the rib cage end, and then you measure on your drawing, and you see like okay, the distance is off on mine. So I need to increase the distance. And it's the same idea of like just making some minor measurements and then seeing where you've gone wrong. or where you can go wrong, which you haven't because you're measuring. So it's those kind of things, you know, that makes a world of difference. Inaccuracy. But that doesn't really talk about. I mean, to some degree, it is about likeness, because if your measurements are wrong, the proportions of the face are wrong, and you will lose likeness, regardless if you have a minor detail or not. And in some cases, when you have the wrong measurements as a whole, and you're making the correct observational details, this still looks wrong because the measurements are off. Oh, eternal lady. Oh, you funny as alien. Yeah, yeah. The pun is dedicated to Chillstrand. Good going, Zealin. I'm quite sure you made him proud. Okay, let's lower the brightness here so we can start seeing where we're going. Okay. We are getting somewhere. Okay. Let's put him on a branch. Good enough. Okay. Let's start putting some. Let's actually. I'll start with the same color as the hair. I'm assuming I gotta change it later, just so it's not too samey. Need to help separate the inside there of the arm from the body, just for the reed, you know. Oh, I see, I forgot some gold there and some other places. Zutun, yeah, I know. I'm fine, thank you, Eternal Lady. Hey, Captain Balls, Captain Balls. Yeah, well, I mean, that's Zealing. That's where measurements comes in, right? And if you know the proportions of the face, the direction of the facial lines, you know, is it a big, heavy forehead? What's the proportions? Then you can easily just map out that person's proportions, and you already automatically have way more likeness uh, through understanding of what the proportions of the person is what the kind of proportions the person has. You know, without understanding of that, you'll never get the likeness correctly, and especially you can't repeat it. Okay, so I kind of like the look of that, but what I think I need to do, as I suspected, as I started like planning it in my head, I think I need pink towards the end of the hands in the white, to help separate it and give it a little bit more life, just to kind of soften it and at the same time humanizing it or making it biological, you know. I know it looks like a dickhead. It's okay, Captain Bose. You're always welcome, late or early. Okay, gold clearly needs to be... Oh, shit. Okay. Did it the wrong way. Too late now. Actually. Do it like that. Do it like this. Delete. Do it like this. Add on top. Boom. We're good to go. So I was hoping that I would have had time to improve the line art, but I'm not going to have time to do that. So what I think I might do is, if I have time, obviously I have a new computer, so I need to fiddle with that. But I'll try. If not, then I'll just do it tomorrow. But I'll try to get time to redo some line art, give it a little bit more character. I feel like obviously there's no personality in the head, and that's something which is extremely important if you want to create a character that someone can relate to and understand. So obviously that's something I need to focus on, and I feel like the current head is just like a scribble. I have no. Okay. Well, I think the orange kind of works. Red is kind of cool, but he's clearly evil that way. Green, I think it's needed. I think some otherworldly color. I mean, this looks amazing, color-wise. Color-wise, I love this. And he definitely looks alien. And he kind of matches with... I mean, this is generic, right? This is assumed. This is monkey, more or less. This is not monkey. Monkey. What adds personality? Just think about the archetypical stuff. Like my face looks like my face because my face is quite square. I have a small pointy nose. I always look like this. So if you draw that, that becomes that personality. And you can also assume things, right? So if you have a massive jaw, most likely you'll feel that person comes across as grunt-like, you know, like a Neanderthal, or a thin face. Obviously, probably means, you know, like athletic, or doesn't eat enough, depending on what other parts you add. So the question is, who is this guy, right? Who is the person? That's the tricky part to try to figure out when you think about when I was talking about like I need to redraw his face so he has more personality, and it's just that, you know, like what constitutes his personality. So I need to when I take the time to redraw him, I really have to think: is he the smart guy? Is he the crazy professor type guy? Uh, as I see him now, because the face is so neutral, there's no like specific determination of who he is, right? So he can actually be any of the characters I talked about. So I need to make a decision regarding his personality, which I haven't yet. And I think he needs to be. I mean, we have the hero who is brave, the huntress, she's badass, right? We got the dog, the horse that he rides on, who is like the regal horsey. We got the brute, who looks quite feral. So if he is the enchanter, he could either be the wise old man, but he is not. He could be the wise old man. I mean, if I would give him like big bushy eyebrows, uh, and kind of having a thinker's face, or he could be the young fiddler. You know, like he's like a scientist, crazy young scientist. I mean, he's the enchanter, right? So the idea is that he gives them technology, their biological technology. He's the guy enchanting them, right? He levels them up. So does that mean he needs to be old and wise, young genius type character? I mean, he could be a young genius type character. Then we could make him, uh, give him like a cool face, as in a face that a young rebel scientist type guy would have, youthful, full of curiosity type thing, or give him the old wise man look. He just loves to smoke pot, like a little bit like the dude from that Kingpin movie. There's so many decisions to make that will impact the changes of the face, and I'm not sure which route to take currently. I don't really feel who he is. I like the design. The design is appealing to me. But then it's also down to what's the face? Who is he? He's obviously, we know the reasoning behind his appearance because he's the mechanic, right? He's the enchanter. But who is he? Who is she? Who is he? Lebowski. Yeah. So I think I'll go with the wise old man. So I'll try some stuff out, um, probably tomorrow on the stream. Um, try some stuff out to see um, what design decisions I can make to give him the wise old man tribe, but like the dude feel, right? Because we got the wise grandma uh, creature. She gives people wisdom, right? She she has a calm appearance, like calm loving. So he can't be the calm loving person. He has to be the something else. So why not making him feel like the dude type thing? I mean, he has dreads. We'll see. Yeah, like a shaman mystic. All right. Thanks everyone for joining in. Have a fantastic day. Good night. Thanks for joining in on the stream. Thanks for, as always, hanging out, talking. I really wish that I had more time to stream for longer periods of time during the day. I think that would be lots of fun. But alas, I only have a 30-minute gap to squeeze some fun in. But as they say, at least there is a little bit. Is that what they say? No, no, what are they saying? What's the saying? A little bit is enough. At least there's a little bit. I don't know. Right. Thanks everyone for joining in. You guys are fantastic. See you guys tomorrow for the same time for more of playing with this character. And you guys are the best. All right, outro time. Bye.